Let's go through some lines in Kishore Mahbubani's book entitled The New Asian Hemisphere, The Irresistible Shift of Global Power to the East. The Singaporean scholar and diplomat talks of how the rise of the West transformed the world. And in the book, he predicts that the rise of Asia will wrought a deep transformation on the world. Mahbubani says Japan and Israel, as the only two modern societies in Asia half a century ago, inspired transformative changes on the continent and set the example that the emerging economic powers in Asia embraced. He makes the point that first, Japan was emulated by the four Asian tigers, that is South Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Singapore. When China was awakened to the rise of the countries within its axis, it joined them in its own four modernization programs. China's success has in turn inspired the rise of India, Mahbubani asserts. He says, now billions of Asians are marching towards modernity. The sporadic rise of Asian countries is the profit from a forward-looking leadership devoid of poverty of reason. Limbs like Jawaharlal Nehru of India, Mao Zedong of China, Deng Xiaoping of China, Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore. What about Mahathir Mohamad of Malaysia? These leaders propagated Asian values. These values constitute a dominant worldview that define the globalization of the 21st century. A leader like Mahathir Mohamad, during the Asian financial crisis of 1997, led Malaysia into what Chiedu Morgalu calls frontal confrontation with globalization. He set a framework for the political and economic development of Malaysia, making the country a model of success in the new world. Who is that transformative leader that Nigeria has produced? Help me with the answer, if you can. I'm laying more emphasis on China today. But Japan did so well that Japan is still doing well. China is pushing the boundaries of speed, endurance, and civil engineering. China has encouraged and supported her companies to be among the first in the world to introduce new technology, such as autonomous driverless train operations and advanced signaling and control technology. You can visit China and travel in the driverless bullet trains from Beijing and Jiangsu in northern Hebei province. You will feel it. The trains are capable of hitting speeds up to 350 kilometers per hour, making them the world's fastest autonomous trains. You know what this does? It reduces travel time for the 174-kilometer journey from 3 hours to less than 60 minutes. They say the fastest trains complete the trip in just 45 minutes. A journey that would take more than 3 hours in the past can now be completed in just 45 minutes through the bullet trains. Do you know what this would do to business, commerce, and industry in a serious country? It brings progress. That cluster has the world's deepest high-speed railway station, situated 102 meters underground. A train station situated 102 meters underground. These autonomous trains are fitted with seats with 5G touchscreen control panels, intelligent lighting, thousands of safety sensors, and removable seats for passengers in wheelchairs. They come with facial recognition technology. There are robots at the train stations to help travelers with navigation, luggage, and check-in. This is mind-boggling. China is blowing my mind why Buhari, Tinubu, and his collaborators caused the Nigerian people to fall into depression, anguish, poverty, and violence. As I speak, China is working on a new high-speed maglev train that is capable of reaching speeds of 620 kilometers per hour. Is it Tinubu's Nigeria that is thinking in that line? The Nigerian system pretends to be democratic, yet breeds violence of unimaginable proportion. China's political system is unique to it, and it brings progress. As progress expands, I see China reforming its political system to accommodate its development. Yes, China is not a democracy like America, but its system is meeting the needs of its people to a large extent. In this April 2015 lecture entitled "What Happens When China Becomes Number One," Singaporean scholar Kishore Mahbubani explains the driving force behind China's exploit. So Kishore Mahbubani comes in to help us define China.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
So if it's not communism that they're trying to promote, what is it they're trying to promote? And the simple answer is that they would just like to revive Chinese civilization. Indeed, if there's one thing that motivates the Chinese leaders, it is their memory of the many humiliations that China has suffered for over a century, as you know, from 1842, the Opium War, to roughly 1949, or you can even go beyond that. And the one thing that drives the Chinese is a simple credo which says, no more humiliation for China. That's the great motivation. And indeed, Xi Jinping, when he spoke to UNESCO in March 2014, this is what he said are the goals of the Chinese people. He said the Chinese people are striving to fulfill the Chinese dream of the great renewal of the Chinese nation. The Chinese dream It's about the prosperity of the country, the rejuvenation of the nation, and the happiness of the people. It reflects both the ideal of the Chinese people today and our time-honored tradition to seek constant progress. The Chinese dream will be realized through balanced development and mutual reinforcement of material and cultural progress. Without the continuation and development of civilization or the promotion and prosperity of culture, the Chinese dream will not come true. Unquote. And I think in those few sentences, he brilliantly captured what is the heart of the aspirations of the Chinese people, to move away from an era of having been humiliated for a long time to an era where they once again feel proud about Chinese civilization and what it can accomplish. And indeed, if the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, could change its name to CCP, the Chinese Civilization Party, then I think it would be a more accurate description of the goals and aspirations of the CCP. But of course, while this may be the motivations, many in the West continue to believe that China's approach is flawed because it is not changing its political system. And you can read in, whatever, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Economist, there's this constant belief that the best thing that can happen to China is to have a collapse of the Chinese Communist Party and have a democratic system. The one slightly provocative point I'm going to make here is be careful what you wish for. Because if the Chinese political system becomes more democratic, it could very well become far more nationalist and far more aggressive as a power. And the great paradox here is that the Chinese Communist Party is actually delivering a global public good by restraining Chinese nationalism. And if you didn't have a strong Chinese Communist Party in charge, you might actually get a more nationalist, a more assertive China. So I believe that it's actually in global interest to allow the Chinese Communist Party to evolve and change in its own way. And that way, I think we will have a China that focuses on economic growth and focuses on strengthening its civilization.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Professor Kishore Mahbubani spoke while delivering the 2015 Albert Gordon Lecture at the Kennedy School of Politics at Harvard. Mahbubani at the time was the Dean, Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy, National University of Singapore. Look at this book, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century, written by Yuval Noah Harari. 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. If you read this book, you will learn some lessons of how the global system is changing. There is surely no one alive who is better at explaining our world. Adam K. says that person is Yuval Noah Harari. How can we protect ourselves from nuclear war or ecological catastrophe? What do we do about the epidemic of fake news or the threat of terrorism? How should we prepare our children for the future of technology? 21 lessons in this book show us how to be human in the age of tech. Erudite, illuminating, vivid, a splendid, sobering, stirring call to arms. That is how the Sunday Times describes this book. I have read it, and I keep reading it to have a broader understanding of the book. I recommend this book to you, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. You get a copy on udarabooks.com. Do not shy away from chatting us on WhatsApp. Our numbers are on the screen for your copy. Shaping the future of the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Shaping the future of the Fourth Industrial Revolution. A guide to building a better world. Written by the founder and executive chairman, World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab. That is one forum I should be attending soon. I've been wanting to attend the World Economic Forum, but somehow I'm never too serious about it. But I think in the next 1 or 2 years, I should be attending one of the forum. I want to join that global discourse that takes place at the forum. And if you read this work, you will come in contact with global discourse on the way the world is going. It's about changing dynamics. World Economic Forum founder and chief executive, Klaus Schwab, offers a practical companion and feed guide to his previous book, The Fourth Industrial Revolution. You know, technology is changing everything. How we relate to one another, the way we work, how our economies and governments function, and even what it means to be human. Incredible advances from cryptocurrencies to artificial intelligence to the Internet of Things are already transforming society in unprecedented ways. But the Fourth Industrial Revolution is still in its infancy, said Schwab. And at a time of such tremendous uncertainty and change, it's our actions that will determine the trajectory the future will take. So read this book and have a broader understanding of the word. It's entitled Shaping the Future of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, a guide to building a better world. And China is in this struggle. I am studying the workings of the Chinese system and that of other great powers to develop a system that meets my dreams and aspirations. What about you?